Hello there! We have entered June. So, since a lot of you seem to be enjoying this more vlog style, monthly favorites type thing, and I really enjoyed making it, we're gonna do it again. So, beginning of the month, it is June 4th today. So, usually I do like to do a lot of this on the 1st, mostly because I get so excited for a shift. But I just didn't have it this time. Anyway, we are going to start out like I usually tend to start out, with changing out the animal gnosis. Mostly because Tegan is always like so on it. Like she is ready to go when the month changes, so we always have our animal very quickly. Anyway, so last month we had horse, and this month I am so excited. We have crow. I love crows. I do feel a connection to crows and crow energy, so I think it should be a good month with that. To start that out, if you hear shouting in the background, Paul is playing his video games. And if anybody also plays video games, you know how that goes. I'm sitting on the floor right now, so I will be wiggling. Anyway, so to start out, whenever we switch animals, I like to take out my animal decks. I'm sitting here with my animal deck basket, and I like to take out all the cards I have to pair with that animal. So I have a feeling we are going to find a lot of different crow cards today because, I don't know, I think that's just an animal a lot of us associate kind of with, I don't know, spiritual meaning, I suppose. So I feel like it shows up in a lot of decks. Okay, so to start, I always like starting with Woodland Wardens because it's one of my favorites, and I have 2 copies of it now so that I can leave one permanently on display. So we have Crow and Dogwood with Intelligence. I feel like that is a really common association, kind of that trickster, intelligent type energy. The other deck I like to leave on display a lot of the time is the Animal Allies, mostly because there's so many animals in here that, you know, if one card is out of it and I still want to use it, it doesn't feel like a huge deal. But this one's going to take me a long time to find the, oh my gosh, I was going to say it's going to take me a long time, but here it is. So Crow, and this is the one I showed in my last, in my May video, how I modded this. So my keywords for this are change and insight, which is pretty interesting. Ooh, my camera needs to be charged. I hope it doesn't die. Well, let's be real, it might. That's okay. If it does, I will come back and show all the cards I pulled out, because I feel like this might turn into a long segment now that I think about it if I sit here pulling out all my cards on camera. Should I just... Maybe I should just do that, actually. Right? Okay. I'm going to pull out my cards, and then as soon as I do that, I will be back to show them all. I think that's a better idea. Okay. I am back with more crow cards. So, I already showed the Woodland Wardens and Animal Allies crow. So then also from my Cottage Witch Oracle, I have a crow card with the keyword message. From Andy's Animal Guide Oracle, we have crow with will guide you to notice signs and synchronicities. How cool is that? Now, pretty much all of these are my animal oracles that I have, which I was actually, I mean, not surprisingly so. I think I got a card out of all of my oracles, my animal oracles, except for one. Pretty sure. So this is oracle pretty much because I wanted to kind of see the keywords, and I feel like my animal tarots don't necessarily pinpoint certain cards for certain animals, except for my Animal Wise tarot, which I have right here, and the crow is the Page of Winged Ones, or the Page of Swords, which I think is a really cool association. We have unexpected magic and energy. I think that is so neat. I really love that line there. Okay, and then from the animal medicine, the medicine cards, got Crow. I'll probably leave that one on display. From my Sawyer's Nature Portals, we've got this picture there. I love that. It's so beautiful. This is from the, oh my goodness, I never remember the name of it, but I have it here. Old Ways Magic Oracle. There's a card dedicated to Crow, which is Knowledge. How beautiful is that card? Oh, it's so good. This is from the Wild Whiskers deck, and it is Clever Crow, Mystery, Judgment, Clairvoyance. Observer of birth, life, and death, teach me creative and destructive magic. So neat. Another card, too, that is just so beautiful. I love this deck. And I don't read with it much, and I have no idea why. I don't know. This is from the Animal Spirits Oracle, and it has Crow with, it's a picture on the front and then words on the back for this deck. The symbolism is renewal, transformation, magic, abundance, but then there's a whole divinatory meaning on there. Last but not least, with the Prairie Majesty Oracle, it says, what can I learn from observation, with the keyword notice? So, there is certainly a common theme going on with Crow here, with messages, knowledge, observation. There's this hint too of kind of this trickster energy and mystery almost, which I think is really, really cool. There is such an air of magic about crows that is very apparent. So, something I did last month was we had Horse last month, and alongside that, I did some work with the goddess Epona, who is the Celtic horse goddess. And I really enjoyed that. So I didn't do like so much with it, but I just kind of liked having that association. So I wanted to try it again this month, and for Crow, we are bringing out the Morrigan. So I've got, this is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle. Destiny is her keyword. Then from the Dark Goddess Tarot, she is the Emperor, which I think is really a cool energy I want to explore for sure. And then last but not least, also from Old Ways Magic, she is in the Battle Ready card. So, I like taking these all out because I take a picture of them and I put it in my journal. I kind of do like a 2-page spread that I'll show for my journal for like my monthly things. But obviously I don't leave these all out, because a lot of these are decks I use all the time, and I don't want a missing card. Like the Animal Guide Oracle and Cottage Witch, like I don't want missing cards from there, or, Prairie Magic, you know. Anyway, so I think I choose, the little holder I use kind of can hold it like 3. So I tend to always put out the Woodland Wardens because I've got 2 copies of this deck and I love the artwork so much. But looking at these now, I think we're going to also choose the Sawyer's Nature Portals because I really do love the artwork on this deck. And I don't really use it like an oracle. I think using it, I kind of like to use it for focused work on an animal, so I don't really shuffle and choose a card. I will purposely select, which is something I like to do with round decks, if I do get them, because they're so hard to shuffle. But then I think we're also, I thought I was going to do the medicine cards, but I actually think we're going to do this card from the Old Ways Magic because it's so beautiful. And this is another one that I have kind of, for now, decided is going to function more like altar cards. Because again, it's not a deck I use super often, but I just really appreciate the artwork. So we're going to try that out for a bit, and maybe it's just that I needed it in my face kind of thing. But I think those are the 3 we're going to leave out. And then for the Morrigan, I think we might just put out this card and leave the other ones with their proper decks. I think that's what we're going to do. So, I am going to probably, now that I've taken my picture, get these all away. Maybe move on to printing that out and getting that set up. That kind of sounds fun right now. So, yeah. You might be seeing a lot from me in this outfit today, because it's the switch over of months. There's kind of a lot I like to do right at the jump, so I'll probably see you again today. Hello. So, I thought I would show you all how I set up or how I've been liking setting up sort of like a monthly spread type thing going on here. So, I don't know how well you can see this. I like using glittery markers, as you can see, so not picking up on camera super well. Anyway, I don't do anything super fancy. June. I start off, though, listing out just some decks that I really want to focus on for the month. This doesn't really have too much thought put into it. Usually it's just a deck that I have there and I'm like, ooh, yes, I've been really wanting to use it this month. I don't follow like a monthly list of decks anymore. I did that at one point, then I did weekly. I kind of freestyle it, so I just like having this here to reference if I'm ever not sure what I want to use in the morning. I have a list here of decks that I was like, ooh, like either they're kind of new to me, or I just want to use them this month. So I've got that going on there. Then I do Dawn Michelle's monthly medicine with her members every month. And so these are all the decks that I have planned to use for each of the weeks. And then down at the bottom here, I've got my card of the month. And this month, it is the Queen of Cups. So I, for my yearly spread this year, used the... Ooh, what are you called? I always forget the name of this deck. Oh, darn. I really don't remember. Do I have it somewhere out? I do. It is... Hold on. Aha. The Pythonic Tarot. And I've really been loving using it in this way. I feel like it's helping me really get to know this deck better. And then what I do here is I just kind of jot down the key points I really like from this guidebook, because there is quite a lot written for each card. But then also, if there's meanings that I myself know and like, I'll put that down. I've been going through the book 78 Degrees of Wisdom and jotting down things from there, because I like that book. Yeah, so that's that on that. And then on the other side, as we saw before, I have my animal gnosis. So this month we have Crow, as I said, and so I put a picture here of all the cards I pulled out that I showed before. And then also this month I wanted to go again with the Goddess, so I've got some of the Morrigan cards I pulled out. But here is also where I will take notes from Tegan's post about Crow that she does. Sometimes it's multiple. And then she also gives us a tarot spread, which I will also journal on the bottom of this page. So that will get filled up. And then I like tabbing my months up here with just some washi tape. So that is what that looks like. I think that's all I have to share for now. No, I feel like there's something else I was going to talk about. Now I can't remember. Well, it'll come to me someday. Just remembered what it was. So today is a Deccan switch day. So we're moving from the Tower, Nine of Swords, and the Lovers. Ooh, what a glare. Oh my, let's calm that down, why don't we? New setup. We'll play with it. I've got a new setup going on here, and yeah. Alright, anyway. Which I fell a little bit off the Deck and Walk wagon. I have had my cards out, so not to say that I didn't kind of examine those things, but I haven't done Marlena Teresa's spread the last 2 decans, which I'm a little sad about, because I do really love the spreads she's been making. I totally lost track of it. But this was an interesting decan for sure. I feel like I definitely did feel that kind of anxiety in the air. Not any sort of extreme tower moment, but it felt like this energy of like so many things felt tower-like. It's very interesting. But now we are switching to the Ten of Swords with still the Lovers and the Sun, which I think is such an interesting combination here, and I feel like it really speaks to the aspect of the sun of, you know, when it's burning too bright. The vibe I'm getting here, and I haven't read through, I've been reading through 36 Degrees from T. Susan Chang. I haven't read this chapter yet. I literally just took out these cards, but it's giving me, like, sunburn vibes. Like, when you get really sunburnt. So, I'll be interested to see how that goes. But yeah, these are my card switching out. I want to do that spread. I feel like I'm going to go look for it now and print it out. But yeah, that's that update. I do really like this practice. I just need to get back into it, you know? Hello. My face is looking green because the sun is hitting the tree outside my window so intensely. I just realized there's another huge grapevine out there. We've got, I think it's summer grape growing everywhere around here. It's so cool. That's so exciting. Anyway, I realized I don't think I talked about the decks I'm using for monthly medicine with Dawn Michelle. So, but now I can't remember. So sorry if this is a repeat, because I'm not gonna check. Anyway, the first week we had the Realm of Nurturing, but actually, hold on, the phone. So, our theme this month was Enchanted Realms. And so immediately this made me think of the Sacred Forest Oracle. And so I chose a card from this deck for each of the 4 weeks to kind of act as my guide. So first we had the Realm of Nurturing, and so I had out the Bear Spirit card, which the keyword here is healing. And for that, I used the Into the Lonely Woods deck, because I really just feel like this has such a huge focus on that healing, nurturing energy. It's a very comforting deck to me. There's something about these creatures I just really like. It feels very calming and quiet, and that's what I felt like when I saw Realm of Nurturing, and then especially deciding to pull that Bear Spirit card that's really snowy. That to me, I don't know, had the same energy. And alongside that, Future Ancestors Tarot, because like I mentioned with that last deck, it also has a really kind of quiet energy to me. And so with this realm, I actually kind of chose from the decks I showed in that decks I use when I'm overstimulated video I made. And this is probably like my top one I like to use. So that one had to come out. I'm actually not thinking about it. Do I want to take this to work with me? I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. Okay, besides the point. And then, so that's what I plan to use. But then, I was watching Thea at Garden Goddess Tarot, her Taurus season, like, deck haul, I suppose. I forget what she called it. Anyway, she showed this deck, the Prophet Oracle, and I immediately was like, yes, yes, I need that. It's really, really cool. So it's all based around the story, the Prophet, which is in the guidebook, which is so neat. But it's a really, really interesting deck. Really kind of, I don't know, it just has these nice messages that aren't harsh, but they do kind of give you something to just ponder. It's just really good. So I ended up pulling that out a lot for that nurturing week as well. So now currently we are in the realm of exploring. For that, I have the Thicket of Thorns with Uncertainty. because I don't know, I heard Realm of Exploring, I was like, ooh, like, you would explore uncertainty, right? And for that, I also used the Wild Unknown Archetypes. I got the Medallion. I wasn't expecting to use this one originally. That was kind of an add-on. But I also have been using the Threadbound Oracle, because I had the idea of using this deck. So let's talk about the other one I got out. It's the Tarot in Wonderland, so an Alice in Wonderland theme deck. And I saw this deck in Lisa Papez's This or That video, and it just sparked this idea of using this deck, which is based around a book series about a magical library. Using this deck alongside story-themed tarots I have as this jumping off point and like giving off this feeling of as if I am in the magical library and whatever card I pull here is taking me into a certain aspect of the story that I have the tarot deck about. So this has been really cool so far. And I've been really liking this Tarot in Wonderland. It's the first Alice in Wonderland deck that I have, actually. This one I was gifted by Andy because she loves Alice in Wonderland, but she has the that beautiful Baba Studios one, so she gave me this one to try out, and I am so obsessed with it. I'm kind of thinking about possibly getting the Alice Tarot by Dame Darcy, because I like that one as well. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. So really enjoying that. I think I will return as the weeks go on with the other decks I'm using, just because I always have an original plan and then I tend to add or change what I use. So anyway, that's the first 2 weeks. Hello. So I have some more favorite things to be had. I think I definitely have talked about before my absolute love of the pocket deities from, it's an Etsy, light, from an Etsy shop called Magic Deary Studio, and I recently got a new one. We have a little Hecate, however you want to say that, now, because I've really been interested in working with her energy since I started reading, I showed this last month, Entering Hecate's Garden. This I got at the library, but I actually just, because I've been liking it so much, bought a copy for myself. That should be here tomorrow, so very exciting. But something I just set up to work with her, I didn't really realize the, or I just didn't know, because I never looked into her much before, the relation between her and plants. Like I didn't realize she was so heavily associated with like gardening and plants and things like that. So that's where my interest lies. So something I really wanted to do to kind of work with her energy was kind of create my own loose incense blends by drying some of the herbs I'm growing outside, which my herbs are doing super well. I'm really excited about that. And I usually, you can see here, my typical method is just hanging herbs upside down. This is some sage from outside to dry them, but I've been drying my roses as the blooms have kind of just been spent, they're done. I will deadhead them and collect the petals and dry those, but obviously you can't hang petals, so I was doing the method of laying them out on paper towels, but it takes quite a while and was taking up a lot of space. So I finally got myself a dehydrator, which I don't know why I assumed they were so expensive. I mean, if you get like a real fancy one, I guess they are, but I found them for 30 bucks on Amazon. So I got a dehydrator, and that came yesterday. So I dried a bunch of rose petals, So now I can dry some herbs a little bit faster that way as well, so that's exciting. So that was a side note. Anyway, so I wanted to show, I was going to also buy one of those charcoal-less incense burners where it's got the spot for the tea light and then like just basically a disc above it that you can slide up and down. But then I saw, just while researching it online, some people will just use, like candles. I saw people using jar candles and the mesh strainers. And then I had a brain blast. I was using this candle holder as a, crystal sphere holder because it fit. I have a selenite sphere that it fit perfectly and that I didn't have a stand for. But it's meant to be a candle. I think it's meant to actually be like a wax melter. I'm not sure. But I had that, and then I also had these tea strainers that I don't really use much since I use one of those like kind of like reusable tea bags, basically, like the cylinder version that closes up, where these are just like you put the loose leaf tea straight into the teapot. But I stopped doing that because then you have to clean the teapot every time, which is kind of annoying. So I had these, basically, is what I'm saying. So let's see if I could turn the camera around without stopping this. Can I do that? Oh, I can. Neat. So this is the setup currently. We've got my Hecate statue. I'm going to pull, this is where I'm going to keep my fairy card, my Brian Froud fairy cards, which I like to pull just whenever I feel like. So right now, I had it over here. Got the Singer of Courage. So we're going to keep that there. Because I don't really know if she's got a relation to fairies, but since she is tied to nature in this way, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the deities I work with who are like very, very tied to the natural world, I just feel like they involve fairies. So that's just my view on that. But anyway, here's what it looks like. So that's the candle. I just got a tea light in there. This is the strainer. So I just put in a little pocket of tin foil, and then I've got my herbs in there. It smells so nice. I am so excited about it. So yeah, that's that update. I'm really excited to make some blends and just try some more things. Very cool. Hello. So I'm sure as you could tell, I did not end up doing a specific summer solstice fairy thing. Well, no, that's not true. I did leave a flower offering by my little bird bath, which is like the bottom of it is a fairy house, so that's where I like to leave fairy offerings. So I guess I did do that, but I don't really know what I had in mind. So that's it on that. But anyway, deck and switchover also happened on the summer solstice. So I can't say that word. I always say solstice. Solstice. Anyway, deck and switchover, and also a astrological switchover. So we got a lot we're switching out today. So we're gonna go through my altar cards, and then I didn't end up doing really any of the spreads from Gemini season. I mean, those were some tricky cards. You know, can you blame me? It wasn't out of like I don't want to do it. It just didn't happen, you know? And that's okay. That's alright. Anyway, so we're gonna go through the cards I am keeping out, starting with the non-tarot cards. So I am still really loving putting out these astrology cards. I can't think of the name of the deck, but it's from Running Press. They sent me this deck for review, and this is how I've been really liking to use it. So we have our Cancer card, and the keywords here are nurturing, sensitive, caring, which so excited to be heading into this energy after all that was Gemini season. I need to plug in my camera. Apologies. Where's the plug? There it is. Oh. These are just gonna be real uncut. Not that any of my videos are really edited, but real, real uncut. That's what these are gonna be. But I'm hoping you're enjoying these. I'm really liking making it this way, because I find sitting down at the end of the month and trying to think of all the things I did, all the things I enjoyed is really overwhelming for me. I just can't I don't summarize anything well. So this is the solution. Anyway, so Cancer season, I've got that card, but then also, if you watched my recent deck acquisitions, another thing I've been really loving doing, I got the Mouseboat Tarot, and for some reason they come with astrology cards? Is it? Yeah, like sun sign cards. I don't really know why, but I'm gonna utilize it, and so I've been putting out the sign that goes along with the decan on my little decan altar, and so here's the Cancer card. I mean, come on, that's so cute. I'm having such an obsession with this deck right now, for no good reason. It's just, it's so cute. I think I'm gonna do a, another deck speed dating, which maybe by now you will have already seen it, probably. At least it'll be up if you wish to view it. And I think that's one I have to do because it's so cute, but I haven't really played around with pairings yet, and I just really like it. Okay, so we have that Cancer card, and then our decan is, we are moving into the Two of Cups, and the ruler is Venus. So I will have this out as well for the decan. It is Beauty, Artistry, Love. I mean, such good energy going on. I love it. Okay, so I kind of switched the decks I put onto display. I don't think I actually even filmed this for the last decan, which was the Ten of Swords. But I mean, right? Were we all feeling that? So I usually use the Practical Magic Inner Witch, which you've been seeing, and I have those cards out. But for that decan, I switched to putting out the Earthbones Tarot. This has been sitting in my purgatory bin, so to speak, for quite some time, and I went through it recently to just be like, okay, like what here could go, basically. And this one, I just can't let go of it. And so I was looking through the cards and I was like, ooh, like these really are very interesting, and you know what could be, where these would look nice is on my decan altar. So I switched to these, and then also just kind of realized, like, putting cards on display from the Practical Magic deck really helped me bond with the deck and just get it, you know? So I realized, like, ooh, I think I could be doing this for this deck too. So I have these cards pulled out, and here's I do really like the cards. Here's the Empress card. We have a lioness, and so in the guidebook it really speaks to that fierce motherhood energy, which I do really like. And then we've got the Chariot as our other major arcana, and this is a moose. And we also get a, I should say we get a plant in each of these too, which I totally didn't realize. So we have the pomegranate and guarana. I'm not familiar with that plant, so I'll have to look that up, but at least with the majors you do. But and then here's our Two of Cups, which I am finding so fascinating, because we have two fish jumping towards each other, but if you look, they're those, the betta fish, or Japanese fighting fish. I guess you could look at it as a male and a female, but the fins are so big. Usually it depends on the type of betta fish. Why I know this information on betta fish, I don't know, couldn't tell you. I used to, pretty much consistently have a betta fish. I do love them. We don't currently because Stevie likes to mess with their tank, and we haven't found a good spot where it feels like the fish would be happy and she cannot touch it. So anyway, depending on the type, usually the males have the big fins. They're certainly the colorful ones. Females aren't, and they usually have smaller fins. So this to me felt like two males jumping towards each other. But if you look, they have two separate jars, so it's this interesting thing to me of, like, I don't know. Like, how they are in two separate jars. It's kind of like how, you know, when you're thinking of the Two of Cups as like a meaningful relationship, it feels to me like this really cool message of you can have these meaningful relationships, but still, like, you maintain your own world. And, like, you should maintain your own world. You still have boundaries around that. So I think that's really neat. But I do really love these cards as well. So we have the Empress here with wheat and emerald, which are really cool symbols for just kind of abundance and fertility. I'm guessing that's a, you know, I didn't even look at what that crystal was. Maybe a moonstone? I don't know. I forgot to even look at that. The Chariot is just fun. A fun witchy chariot going on there. And then our Two of Cups, which, you know, makes sense. So I don't know what I want to put on display. I think just for this season, I think these colors maybe work a little bit more for me too. I think we're going to put these on display because I also, because I've just like totally turned my feelings on this deck around, the Practical Magic one, I'm kind of like, ooh, I should try reading with it now that I'm kind of settled on that. Alright, currently I'm putting them on display. I will show what my display looks like in just a sec. But I do really want to do the reading this time around, so I have decks pulled out and I'm leaving them on my desk until I do it. But we have to go the watery energy, right? Which I'm really excited to get into because, and I think why I'm feeling more excited for this deck-in is because water energy is something I generally kind of struggle to bring in. I'm not a watery person at all. Maybe not at all, but like, you know. And so I really want to tap into that energy, and I've got watery, you know, not many watery decks, but a few that just don't get their time in the sun. So this is the chance. So we're really going very literal with this water energy. So we're going to do Messages from the Mermaids, which love, favorite. And then the Flow Tarot, which I really like, but have hardly used. And again, it's because like that watery energy, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. And this is obviously very intense water energy. But I bought it for that reason, because I just don't really bring that energy in much. But something else that's interesting and why I'm feeling like really called, I guess, to this deck-in, interested, is because I think I mentioned probably in the beginning of this, I don't know, time is weird, that my card of the month is the Queen of Chalices. So the water energy and that kind of Empress energy is very present, and so I really want to explore that, and this feels like the perfect way. So I will turn you around and show you my setup quick, but then I think that's all for today. I think. We'll see. Okay, so it's decently messy, but here's a look at my, what's this called? Deck and altar, or, you know, space. It is with my kind of spirit guide, Carnunos altar going on up there, which I really like having these together because, you know, this is an energy I am trying to just kind of consistently work with, which same as kind of spirit guide work, so it feels nice having them together on this two-tiered thing. So that is that. Okay, we're here with my next favorite thing to show. I bought myself these My Little Pony figurines. So I guess I don't really need to say this in my favorite show thing. My favorite show this month has been My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I've never seen it, but a deck is up on Kickstarter right now. It's a tarot for My Little Pony. Like, these specific characters, though. So I was like, okay, love that so much. I've never seen this. I need to watch it. And obviously, I'm obsessed. It is just, I don't know, it's making me so incredibly happy to the point where I was like, I need little figurines. So, ooh, I was on the hunt for Funkos, but They're not currently like manufactured. I did get this one for one of the characters. How cute is that? So they're not like they're not expensive. Like maybe some of them are. I don't know. Basically, they're not like manufactured right now, so you kind of have to hunt on Mercari and eBay and stuff. But I got this one really cheap. But it was kind of going to be a hunting process for all of these. But on Amazon, they sell a whole set for like $20 of these kind. And I mean, oh my god, they're making me so happy. I just have been playing so much with them, using them almost as like an oracle basically. Because I think what I love so much about them is that each of these ponies kind of represent almost like an archetypal energy. So you really could use them as like, I don't know, this oracle. I've literally been putting them this probably sounds so crazy pants. I've been putting them in a bag and pulling my pony of the day. Today was Rainbow Dash. Look how cute. Oh my god, these are bringing me so much joy. For $20, worth it. So, had to update on that. I think the next thing, oh, I also have been making a lot of flower arrangements from my garden outside. I wanted to do a garden update, but it was so humid out. It's been raining, and so it finally wasn't raining today, but it was so humid out, my lens kept fogging, so couldn't do that. So here's like a little mini garden update of what's out there. I've got some bee balm in here, daisies, bachelor's buttons, I think these are. Not sure. But yeah, I've been having so much fun making flower arrangements. I'm not one to keep flowers inside usually. This one's all wilted. Gotta replace that. But this one I love too. We've got more of those daisies. Some roses that got knocked off. I might have shown this already. No, I'm not certain, but I don't know. I like the look of it. I gotta redo this one, and that one's looking pretty sad, so. But yes, having lots of fun with that. So I think the next time I will see you, we'll be wrapping this up to talk about my favorite decks. So that's exciting. Okay, it is that time for favorite decks and books of the month. I don't know what's going on with my hair there. Ignoring. Before that though, I didn't do show my decks I used for this week's monthly medicine. So, my following in theme with picking a card from the Sacred Forest Oracle, this week was the Realm of Connection. So I chose the Forest Temple, which is Enlightenment, because this to me really felt like it represented how I experience that feeling of connection, and to me it's very related to nature and especially that foresty feeling. So again, I was kind of all over the place with decks, but mainly I used the Celtic Spirit Oracle, which I have talked probably a million times about, so we don't have to get into it. The Herbal Astrology Oracle, which is new to me, I've been loving. I used Tarot of the Crone and the Gentle Tarot, and really loved how these all worked with the different prompts for this week. So, anyway, that being said, let's get into my favorite book and decks of the month. So my favorite book that I used was Wild Witchcraft, Folk Herbalism, Garden Magic, and Foraging for Spells, Rituals, and Remedies by Rebecca Bayer. So this I haven't gone through and really... Ooh, thunder, oh my goodness. Excuse the lighting too, because it's raining and thundering, if you didn't hear that. Anyways, I haven't read through too much of this book yet, like really sat, like, you know, reading it through, but I have been using some of the spells and rituals in here and trying them out and looking through those, and I've been really enjoying this, especially in combination with what is again a favorite of the month, Entering Hecate's Garden. I bought a copy for myself officially because my other one was from the library, which you can't keep forever, unfortunately. So there's that. I've really been loving those books and getting into learning more about herbalism in a magical sense, not, you know, herbalism in the sense of like, you know, medicinal that requires a lot of training in a magical sense. I've been really enjoying that. So those two books are my favorite for that right now. Okay, let's look at decks. Let's jump in with, since I already showed that card, the Forest Temple. A big favorite this month was the Sacred Forest Oracle. This was the first time I ever did something like that with my monthly medicine practice, where I used an oracle deck to pick out themes for each week as sort of a guiding card, because we do tend to start our week by picking, at least for this monthly medicine, but I feel like it's kind of, you know, there's somewhat of the same flavor when it comes to our first prompts of the week, is we're kind of picking like guiding energies. And so I had these guiding energies pre-picked out, and I really love how that worked out. I think I might try and do that for this next month if I can, if an oracle sort of speaks to me to do so. But this oracle has really surprised me. I kind of thought it'd be a bit of a cheesy one at first, but I've really been loving it. And I'm kind of a little bit excited that now I've been leaving these out on my reading, like working desk here, which is a mess right now. And so when I've got cards out from a deck that I'm not going to shuffle back in, I don't want to use the deck because it feels incomplete. So I'm a little bit excited that I can bring this into like my daily reading rotation again, because I really love it for that as well. Next up, of course, we've got the new Feel Your Chakras, new and improved. This is a prototype version. This is still up on Kickstarter for a few days, I believe. So if you're interested in this deck, there's still time to back on Kickstarter, but Andy is doing so well. I am so excited for her, and I have been loving getting to use this version. It feels really fun, especially for summer too, because we've got these bright colors on it. I mean, it really is so versatile no matter what time of year, but in the summer I tend to use brighter colors, and this it lends itself so well to that, and I've just been really loving it. It's such a good clarifier type of deck, or a deck to use for prompts. So many ways to use this one, and I love it. So that is the Feel Your Chakras Oracle. Next, the Daily Crystal Inspiration Cards. Another one that really took me by surprise. I didn't expect to like this one. I am not hugely into crystals. I've got a few kinds that I really like, but for the most part, that kind of energy doesn't make too much sense to me in the way of like having different like vibrations or something to it. I like crystals because, I don't know, I think they're pretty and I like them, but other than that, that's kind of where it stops for me. So I never thought I would want a crystal deck, but naturally Andy uses this one, and then it was on sale at Hay House, so I got it for like $10, and because I loved seeing Andy use it, and it was something new to bring in, a new energy, and I have been so impressed by this deck. I find myself truly using it almost daily. It really is so much fun. I really love this one. Really cool messages related to each of the crystals. Can't say enough good things about that one. That is the Daily Crystal Inspiration deck. My next favorite is the Rose Alchemy Oracle. This absolute beauty of a deck. Oh my goodness, I am so obsessed with it. Let me actually add this card back in that I had on my desk. So this is an Oracle of all roses. All these photographic images, and they're broken up into these different categories. Like we have rose angels, rose... I'm not super familiar with all the different group names yet. Then there's just roses. I know there's like rose bagua, which is like a feng shui term, I think. I don't know. The guidebook gets into it, which I've been reading, and it's so fascinating. And I didn't expect to love this one as much as I do. I knew I would like it because I'm having a rose obsession, but there is just something so spiritual feeling about this one. My favorite way to use this has been pairing it with my Mysteries of the Black Madonna. It just really feels like her voice comes through with these roses combined with that deck. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's such a luxurious experience. Like, the reading feels so special because this deck feels so special, and of course, the Mysteries of the Black Madonna is a special feeling deck as well, and that has just, the combo of those two has just really blown me away. So, that is the Rose Alchemy Oracle. I love the bag I made for it too. I think it's so cute. Let me show it again once I get it all together. Wow, it's really raining outside. I made it this like pink bag with green, a green tie to kind of look like the leaves and stems, and then I've got these gold rose charms on there. I love it! So that is the Rose Alchemy Oracle. My next favorite, the Little Bug Oracle. I am so excited that I have just been so drawn to this deck because I love Joanna Nelson. Her artwork makes me so happy, but it just feels like the time of year for this deck. It's just a summer deck for me, and I hadn't really tried pairing it with tons of stuff. I used this, I think for 2 weeks for my monthly medicine, but I used it outside of that as well, and I've been so pleasantly surprised with how well visually it pairs with so many of the decks that I'm wanting to use so far this summer, and the messages are always fantastic. I love this deck. It makes me so happy. It's so spot on every single time. So good. So, that's the Little Bug Oracle. And, staying on the Joanna Nelson train, a new one I got in this month that I've been obsessed with is the Little Monsters Lenormand. I have been so impressed with this deck so far. Basically, it has taken characters out of the Mons Tarot and brought it into this Lenormand world, and it's so good. Look at that. Because again, I love her art style. I think when it comes to Lenormand decks, I find that using just fun themed ones really, really works for me. And look at the backs of these. This cardstock also is a bit thinner than her other decks historically are, so I can riffle shuffle this without any problem. But I have been so into using Lenormand lately. And actually where I've been using it is at work. So I bring a Lenormand with me every day to work, mostly, because I find that this type of reading that Lenormand brings really works as a before work reading. Because I found when I was using tarot, I use tarot in my morning readings just like for my whole day in general. And then when I would go and do another tarot reading at work to kind of set the tone for that, it felt like it was almost like too big. You know, like too big of, or too broad. Where Lenormand really feels like it's easier to narrow down, so asking the cards like, okay, what can I expect in just my workday today? I really felt like I got a more solid answer using Lenormand. And actually, I didn't bring one I had to show over here, because the other Lenormand I've been using tons at work lately is the Precious Possum Lenormand. I love this deck so much. Like, truly can't get enough of it. And I'm so happy that I've kind of found this way to use Lenormand consistently. So that way these Lenormand decks I have and love really are getting so much more play. It's made so much more sense to use Lenormand as like a before work reading, and of course this is one of my favorites because how stinking cute are these? And also the way Logan writes the guidebook for this, and I also have their Pink Sugar Lenormand, but it just makes so much sense. Like I'm not left sort of scratching my head or feeling like overwhelmed by trying to figure out, like it just makes sense. So this has been a favorite this month as well. That is the Precious Possum Lenormand. I have this cute Moonlit Fae bag for it too, which I love. Do I need to really tie this now? No, okay, we're almost done. And then I've got 2 more here to show. All right, next up, no surprise, the Mouseboat Tarot. I have been so pleasantly surprised by this deck since it came in. This just was featured, and really kind of spurred the idea for my latest deck speed dating. And it's just, I've had so much fun with this deck. It just feels so whimsical and perfect for this time of year, and I love all the little creatures in it. I loved that it's themed around mice. For some reason, that theme is just really, really working for me. I don't know what that's about. I should explore that animal energy more, but I'm just loving it. I'm loving the English countryside feel of it. It's so good. It's so good. I'm having so much fun, like, trying different pairings, too, and just really playing with this one. Woo! So that is for sure a favorite from the month, the Mouseboat Tarot. And last but not least, I think this was a favorite last month. It has made it again. It is the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. It's so good. I am so impressed with this new deck from Llewellyn. I love the guidebook. I think the guidebook is really... I feel like there's so much to be said about the guidebook. Every time I read an entry, there's something interesting and new from, you know, my own knowledge basis on tarot, and I really appreciate when a deck can do that. And then the theme of it is just, I'm really connecting to it right now with all the gardening I've been doing and kind of learning the magical correspondences of the plants I am growing. I've just really been loving using this deck. It just feels like it applies to my life right now, and it's such a good one. I can't recommend enough. Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Absolutely a favorite from this month, and that is the last deck I have to show you. So, I think this is where we're gonna end this video so I can get this up for you all. I really wanted to do a garden tour, but I think, as I said in my last clip, it's been so humid this week that the camera lens fogs every time I try and pull it out, and then I was gonna just do it, but then the skies completely opened up and started raining, so we will have to post that somewhere else. So I'll keep you updated on that garden update. But let me know what some of your favorites were from the month. This month was really so much fun. I love the summertime. So other than that, I hope you all are having a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you again very soon.